Strategies for overcoming self-doubt. Unleash the power within. Ever stop dead in your tracks, heart pounding a little faster, as a whisper snakes its way into your thoughts? A whisper that says, "You're not good enough," or "Who do you think you are?" What if I told you the loudest voice stopping you from success isn't real? That the doubt you hear in your head is a lie you've been taught to believe? Think about it for a second. That gut-wrenching feeling of inadequacy, that hesitation before taking a leap, that constant second-guessing, is that truly you at your core? Or is it an echo, a phantom limb of past experiences and ingrained fears? We live in a world that constantly bombards us with highlight reels, curated successes, and the pressure to always be on. It's no wonder that insidious little voice of self-doubt finds fertile ground to take root and flourish. It festers in the shadows of comparison, thrives on the fuel of past setbacks, and cleverly disguises itself as logic, as a form of self-preservation. But here's the unsettling truth. That voice, that self-doubt, is often the single biggest obstacle standing between you and the life you truly desire. It's the invisible ceiling holding you back from reaching your full potential, from embracing opportunities, and from experiencing the exhilarating taste of victory. But what if you could silence that inner critic? What if you could dismantle its power brick by brick and finally step into the confident, capable individual you were always meant to be? That's precisely what we're going to do together, right here, right now. In this video, we're going to dismantle the invisible enemy called self-doubt. Not just talk about it, not just acknowledge its existence, but expose it for the fraud it is, crush its influence, and equip you with real, actionable tools to reclaim your inherent belief in yourself. If you've ever hesitated on pursuing a dream, played small to avoid judgment, or felt that gnawing sensation that you simply weren't enough to achieve your ambitions, consider this your turning point. This is where you draw a line in the sand and decide that self-doubt no longer gets to dictate your destiny. By the end of this video, you won't just have a theoretical understanding of self-doubt. You'll walk away with 8 battle-tested strategies, practical, implementable techniques to systematically silence that inner critic, take decisive action with unwavering confidence, and fundamentally step into the powerful identity of your highest, most capable self. So if you're ready to finally break free from the shackles of self-doubt and unleash the incredible power that lies dormant within you, then stick around. Because the next 25 to 30 minutes could very well be the catalyst that transforms the way you see yourself and the possibilities that lie before you. Let's get started. Section 1. The truth about doubt. It's not yours. Let's get one thing crystal clear right from the start. That persistent voice of self-doubt whispering negativity in your ear? It's not some inherent flaw in your being. It's not a birthmark you're stuck with. Think of it this way. Doubt is not a natural instinct, like the drive to survive or the joy of connection. Instead, it's more akin to a virus of the mind. Imagine a piece of malicious software surreptitiously downloaded onto your internal operating system. You didn't intentionally install it, you didn't ask for it, but suddenly, it's running in the background, slowing you down, creating errors, and limiting your functionality. That's precisely what self-doubt does. It's a program, often unknowingly acquired, that dictates limitations and fuels insecurity. Where does this mental malware come from? Often, it's downloaded from your environment, the subtle and not-so-subtle messages you absorbed throughout your life. Think back to childhood experiences. Perhaps there were well-meaning but ultimately limiting phrases you heard repeatedly. Be careful, don't get your hopes up, or even direct discouragement like, "You're not good at that." These seemingly innocuous comments can seep into your subconscious, planting seeds of inadequacy that blossom into full-blown doubt later in life. Witnessing adults around you settling for less, expressing their own fears and limitations, can also create a blueprint in your mind that normalizes doubt as a natural state. Furthermore, failure, while a crucial part of growth, can unfortunately become a breeding ground for self-doubt if not processed correctly. Instead of viewing setbacks as learning opportunities, our minds can sometimes latch onto them as evidence of our inherent inability. Each misstep becomes another data point in the "you're not good enough" file. And then there's fear. the primal instinct designed to keep us safe. But self-doubt often hijacks this mechanism, amplifying perceived risks and creating phantom threats that paralyze us into inaction. It whispers tales of potential humiliation, rejection, and inadequacy, convincing us that staying small and safe is the only viable option. Consider this vivid metaphor. Self-doubt is like malware running in the background of your life. You didn't install it, but you're living by its code. It's subtly influencing your decisions, limiting your ambition, and preventing you from accessing the full processing power of your potential. You might not even be consciously aware of its insidious influence, but you feel its effects. The hesitation, the procrastination, the constant feeling of being not quite ready. So take a moment for honest reflection. Think about the origins of your own self-doubt. Were there specific experiences, repeated criticisms, or influential figures who inadvertently contributed to this inner voice of limitation? Who taught you to doubt yourself? And are you ready to finally delete that outdated limiting program and install a new operating system based on unwavering self-belief? Section 2. How Doubt Destroys Destiny. Now that we understand that self-doubt is often an unwelcome guest in our minds, let's delve into the devastating impact it can have on our lives and our potential. Here's a stark truth. Doubt is a dream killer dressed as logic. It cleverly disguises itself as rational caution, as prudent consideration, but its true aim is to keep you stagnant, to prevent you from even attempting to reach for your aspirations. It whispers, maybe it's not the right time, or perhaps you should wait until you're more prepared, effectively postponing your dreams indefinitely. Think about the insidious phenomenon of paralysis through analysis. Self-doubt often fuels overthinking, that endless loop of what-ifs and worst-case scenarios. You get so caught up in dissecting every possible outcome, in trying to achieve a mythical state of perfect readiness, that you never actually take the first step. The momentum stalls, opportunities pass you by, and your dreams remain just that, distant fantasies, never translated into tangible action. Furthermore, self-doubt can trigger a vicious cycle, what we can call the depressive cascade. Imagine making a small mistake, a minor misstep in your journey. A confident mind would acknowledge it, learn from it, and move on. But a mind riddled with self-doubt amplifies that error, turning it into evidence of your fundamental inadequacy. One mistake triggers a spiral of self-judgment, leading to feelings of shame, discouragement, and ultimately a retreat from your goals altogether. It's like a domino effect, where one small negative thought topples into another, creating a wave of negativity that washes away your motivation. Ultimately, this is why doubt always delays destiny. It creates a self-imposed waiting period, a perpetual state of not yet. You postpone that big decision, you delay pursuing that passion, you hold back from expressing your true self, all because of this internal resistance fueled by a lack of belief in your own capabilities. Time, that most precious and finite resource, slips through your fingers as you wait for a mythical moment of perfect confidence that never truly arrives. Let's illustrate this with a powerful analogy. Imagine buying $1 million sports car, sleek, powerful, capable of incredible speed and performance, but you never start the engine because you're constantly afraid it won't run properly, that you're not skilled enough to drive it, or that you might scratch the paint. That magnificent machine, representing your immense potential, sits idle in the garage of fear, never experiencing the open road of opportunity. That's precisely what self-doubt does to your life. It keeps your incredible potential locked away, unused, and ultimately unfulfilled. So, take a moment to consider this deeply. What's the biggest goal, the most significant aspiration, that self-doubt has talked you out of pursuing so far? What dream has been relegated to the dusty corners of your mind because that inner critic convinced you it was unattainable? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Acknowledging the impact of doubt is the first crucial step towards dismantling its power. Section 3. The Science of Belief. Rewire your mind now for the empowering part. The good news is that just as self-doubt is a learned pattern, so too is self-belief. Our minds are incredibly adaptable, capable of being rewired and reprogrammed. Understanding a fundamental principle about your subconscious mind is key here. Your subconscious mind cannot argue. It simply reflects the dominant story you consistently tell it. It acts like a loyal but uncritical servant, accepting as truth the narratives you repeat most often. If your dominant internal dialogue is one of inadequacy and fear, your subconscious will dutifully reinforce those beliefs, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. Conversely, this means you have the power to consciously cultivate a new dominant narrative, one of confidence and capability. Belief isn't some elusive feeling that magically appears one day. It's a habit, a mental muscle that strengthens with consistent exercise. Just like training your physical body requires repetition, building unwavering self-belief requires the consistent repetition of empowering thoughts and affirmations. Here are some high-impact strategies to begin rewiring your mind for belief. A. Repetition and auto-suggestion. This involves consciously choosing empowering statements about yourself and repeating them regularly. Think of it as planting positive seeds in the fertile ground of your subconscious. The key is consistency. Say these affirmations with conviction, even if you don't fully believe them at first. Over time, with persistent repetition, your subconscious will begin to accept these statements as your new reality. B. The power of emotionally charged affirmations. Simply reciting affirmations like a mantra might not be enough. To truly penetrate the subconscious, your affirmations need to be infused with emotion. Connect with the feeling of already possessing the quality you're affirming. For example, instead of just saying, "I am confident," try to feel the surge of confidence in your body as you say it, visualizing yourself acting with assurance and conviction. C. Rituals that reinforce belief. Create small, daily rituals that reinforce your desired identity. This could be anything from spending a few minutes each morning visualizing your success to journaling about your strengths and accomplishments. These consistent actions send powerful signals to your subconscious, solidifying your belief in yourself. Here's a practical application you can start using immediately. Say it daily with intention and feeling. My mind obeys me. I do not obey fear. This simple yet powerful statement begins to establish you as the conscious director of your thoughts, rather than a passive recipient of fear and doubt. Let's take this a step further and teach you a 3-minute morning identity ritual. 1. Close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. Center yourself and release any lingering negativity from the previous day. 2. State 3 I am affirmations with strong emotion. For example, I am capable and resilient. I am worthy of success. I am a powerful creator of my reality. Feel the truth of these statements resonating within you. 3. Visualize your future self, the confident, successful version you aspire to be. See yourself acting with assurance, achieving your goals, and embodying the qualities you desire. Hold this image in your mind for at least 1 minute, immersing yourself in the feeling of already being that person. This short, consistent ritual can have a profound impact on your subconscious programming over time. So, consider this. What's one core belief about yourself that you know you need to start repeating with emotion and conviction until your subconscious mind finally obeys it and accepts it as your unwavering truth? Section 4. Identity is a decision. This brings us to a profound realization. You don't passively discover your identity, you actively install it. Your identity isn't some fixed entity waiting to be unearthed. It's a conscious creation, a set of beliefs and self-perceptions that you choose to adopt and reinforce. Too often, we wait for external validation, for evidence of success, before we allow ourselves to believe in our capabilities. We think, once I achieve X, then I'll feel confident. Or when I have Y, then I'll know I'm worthy. But this is putting the cart before the horse. Confidence and self-belief are not the result of achievement. They are the foundation upon which lasting success is built. Therefore, it's time to shift your perspective. Stop waiting for evidence to grant you permission to believe in yourself. Decide, right here and now, who you are, the kind of person you want to be, and then let your actions catch up to that powerful declaration. You are the architect of your own identity. You have the power to define yourself, independent of past failures or the opinions of others. Here are some powerful tools to help you consciously install your desired identity. A. I am the type of person who. Daily declarations. Start each day by declaring the kind of person you choose to be. For example, I am the type of person who takes bold action. I am the type of person who perseveres through challenges. I am the type of person who creates value and achieves their goals. Writing these declarations down and saying them aloud reinforces your chosen identity. B. Speak as the version of yourself who already has what you desire. This is a powerful technique that leverages the law of assumption. Start speaking, acting, and thinking as if you have already achieved your goals and embody the qualities you admire. For instance, if you desire to be a confident public speaker, start speaking with more authority and conviction in everyday conversations. If you aspire to be a successful entrepreneur, begin adopting the mindset and habits of successful entrepreneurs. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined and consistently acted upon. C. Identity anchoring. Visualizing and embodying your future self. Regularly spend time visualizing the future version of yourself who has overcome self-doubt and achieved significant success. What are their habits? How do they carry themselves? How do they speak? Immerse yourself in this visualization and then consciously start to embody those traits in your daily life. This creates a powerful anchor, pulling you towards your desired identity. Think of it like this. You're not trying to become someone new. You're simply shedding the layers of limiting beliefs and external conditioning to reveal the powerful, capable individual who has always been within you. The decision to embrace that identity is the first and most crucial step. So ask yourself this profound question. If you could create your identity today from scratch, unburdened by past limitations and societal expectations, who would you choose to be? What qualities would you embody? What kind of impact would you make? Take some time to truly consider this, because the answer holds the key to unlocking your untapped potential. Section 5. Action kills doubt. We've explored the nature of self-doubt and the power of belief and identity. Now, let's talk about the ultimate weapon in the fight against that inner critic: action. Here's a fundamental truth. Movement creates clarity. Inaction feeds confusion and allows doubt to fester. When you're stuck in your head, endlessly analyzing and second-guessing, self-doubt has a field day. But when you take action, even imperfect action, you begin to generate momentum, build evidence of your capabilities, and starve the voice of doubt. Think of the powerful scriptural and motivational anchor. Faith without works is dead. Belief, no matter how strong, needs to be translated into tangible action to create real-world results and solidify your confidence. Similarly, remember this: you do not wait for courage, you move anyway. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's acting in spite of it. And every time you take action despite feeling doubt, you chip away at its power and build your courage muscle. Here's a practical application and strategy to implement immediately. Teach the 5-second rule for disrupting hesitation. The moment a thought of taking action arises, if you hesitate for more than 5 seconds, your brain will likely find a reason not to do it. So, the next time you feel that urge to act, count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then physically move towards taking that action, no matter how small. This simple technique bypasses the analytical, doubt-ridden part of your brain and propels you into motion. Your action plan should involve taking one uncomfortable step each day. It doesn't have to be a giant leap. It could be making that phone call you've been putting off, starting that project you've been procrastinating on, or having that difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Each small act of courage, each step taken outside your comfort zone, builds momentum and reinforces your belief in your ability to handle challenges. Consider this real-world analogy. Confidence doesn't magically appear after you have the perfect plan or all the answers. It comes from doing it scared and realizing you survived, and often, you even thrived. Every time you act in the face of doubt and experience a positive outcome, or even just learn from a less than perfect one, you build a powerful internal library of evidence that contradicts the lies of self-doubt. Think about learning to ride a bicycle. You didn't wait until you felt perfectly balanced and fearless before hopping on. You likely wobbled, maybe fell a few times, but with each attempt, with each small act of pushing off and pedaling, your balance improved, your confidence grew, and eventually you were riding with ease. The action itself was the catalyst for building that confidence. So, reflect on this. What's one action, no matter how small, that you've been postponing specifically because of self-doubt? What's one tiny step you can take today, within the next hour even, that will move you forward and begin to silence that inner critic through the power of action? Section 6. Talk back to doubt. We've established that self-doubt is often a learned pattern, an unwelcome voice in our minds. Now let's learn how to directly challenge and neutralize that voice. Think of doubt as a persistent heckler in the crowd of your life. The only reason it keeps talking, keeps interrupting your performance, is because you never respond, you never stand up to it. It thrives in the silence of your compliance. It's time to find your voice and talk back. Here are some powerful tactics to effectively silence your inner critic. A. Call it out. The first step is to consciously identify the voice of doubt when it arises. Don't just let it wash over you. Acknowledge it, name it, and recognize it for what it is. Old programming, fear masquerading as caution. You can literally say to yourself, there's that familiar voice of doubt again. This act of recognition begins to detach you from the thought and diminishes its power. You can even give your doubt a silly nickname to further disempower it. B. Replace it. Once you've identified the negative thought, the next step is to actively replace it with a positive and empowering truth. Doubt often presents a distorted view of reality, focusing on limitations and potential failures. Your job is to consciously counter that with a realistic assessment of your strengths, your past successes, and your potential for growth. For example, if the doubt says, "You're not qualified for this opportunity," you can actively replace it with, "I have valuable skills and a willingness to learn, and I deserve to explore this." The key is to make the replacement thought believable and rooted in truth. C. Practice, interrupt and replace. A quick 3-step mental override. This is a powerful technique for immediate intervention when self-doubt arises. 1. Interrupt. The moment you notice a negative self-doubting thought, consciously interrupt its flow. You can do this mentally by saying "stop," or even using a physical action like snapping your fingers. 2. Acknowledge. Briefly acknowledge the thought without dwelling on it. Say something like, "Okay, I hear that thought about not being good enough." 3. Replace. Immediately replace the negative thought with a positive and empowering affirmation. For example, "But the truth is, I am capable and I am growing every day." Let's illustrate this with a live example. Imagine someone hearing that familiar inner voice saying, "You're not ready for this. You're going to fail." Using the interrupt and replace technique, they would 1. Interrupt, mentally say "stop." 2. Acknowledge, "Okay, I hear that fear saying I'm not ready." 3. Replace, "But the truth is, I was born ready. I'm built for this. I can learn and I will succeed." This quick mental override, practiced consistently, can significantly weaken the grip of self-doubt over time. So, consider this. What does your self-doubt usually say to you? What are its go-to phrases and limiting beliefs? And what powerful, truthful statement will you consciously say back next time that voice tries to hold you hostage? Section 7. Master your environment. We focused a lot on your internal landscape, but your external environment plays a crucial role in either fueling or diminishing self-doubt. Here's a powerful truth. Environment trumps willpower. You can have the strongest intentions and the most powerful affirmations, but if you're constantly surrounded by negativity, criticism, and limiting beliefs, it will be an uphill battle to maintain your self-confidence. You are either being programmed for power by your surroundings, or subtly poisoned by passivity and negativity. Think about it in the context of the high-performance mindset we're cultivating. Million-dollar minds are often built in billion-dollar environments. This isn't just about financial wealth. It's about the quality of the people you surround yourself with, the information you consume, and the overall atmosphere you inhabit. Elevate your circle, consciously choose your influences, and your own identity and belief in yourself will naturally rise to match it. Here's a practical application. Audit your circle. Take a close look at the people you spend the most time with. Who consistently lifts you up, encourages your ambitions, and believes in your potential? And who, perhaps unintentionally, drains your energy, focuses on limitations, or subtly reinforces your doubts? It might be time to consciously limit your exposure to the latter and actively cultivate relationships with the former. Furthermore, remove toxic input from your environment. This includes negative news cycles, social media accounts that trigger feelings of inadequacy, and any form of media that leaves you feeling drained or discouraged. Instead, actively seek out sources of inspiration, knowledge, and positive reinforcement. A crucial strategy is to add at least one voice of unwavering faith for every voice of fear in your life. Seek out mentors, coaches, or supportive friends who see your potential even when you struggle to see it yourself. Their belief can be a powerful antidote to your own self-doubt, especially during challenging times. So, take a moment to assess your surroundings. Who in your environment consistently feeds your faith and encourages your growth? And who, perhaps unintentionally, tends to feed your fear and reinforce your doubts? What conscious changes can you make to curate an environment that actively supports your journey towards unwavering self-belief? Section 8, Purpose, is the ultimate antidote. Finally, let's talk about the most powerful and enduring weapon against self-doubt: purpose. Here's a profound truth: where purpose lives, fear cannot thrive. When you are deeply connected to a meaningful mission, when you have a compelling why that fuels your actions, the petty whispers of self-doubt tend to fade into insignificance. Your focus shifts from your own insecurities to the impact you want to make on the world. Think about the inspiring story of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Early in his bodybuilding career, many people doubted his ambitious goals, but he had a crystal-clear vision, fueled by his unwavering belief in his potential and his deep passion for bodybuilding. He famously pinned a picture of his ideal physique above his bed and looked at it every day. He saw his blueprint, and he never looked back, despite the naysayers and the challenges. His powerful purpose drowned out the noise of doubt. Here's what you can learn from this. Define your why so big, so compelling, that it drowns out the how and the what-ifs. Your purpose is the compass that keeps you on course, even when the winds of self-doubt try to blow you off track. It provides an unwavering source of motivation and resilience, reminding you that what you're striving for is bigger than your individual fears and insecurities. To tap into this powerful antidote, take some time for deep introspection. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me? What impact do I want to have on the world? What is the one vision, the one burning desire that I absolutely refuse to let die, no matter how much self-doubt tries to convince me it's impossible? Journaling on these questions, meditating on your values, and connecting with your deepest aspirations will help you unearth your powerful why. Once you have that clear sense of purpose, self-doubt loses much of its power. Your focus shifts outward, towards the realization of your vision, and the internal critic becomes a less significant distraction on your path. So take some time for reflection. What's the one vision, the one deeply held purpose that you refuse to let die? Hold on to that, nurture it, and let it be the unwavering force that propels you forward, silencing the whispers of self-doubt along the way. Section 9, Conclusion. We've journeyed together through the often murky waters of self-doubt, shining a light on its origins, its destructive power, and most importantly, the concrete strategies you can use to overcome it. Remember this fundamental truth: doubt is not your inherent reality. It's just a voice, a recording from the past, a lie told so often it became familiar. But just because a lie is familiar doesn't make it true. Today, you've learned that you have the power to rewrite that narrative. You have the agency to uninstall that limiting programming and install a new operating system based on unwavering self-belief. You've discovered that self-doubt often stems from external influences and past experiences, not from some fundamental flaw within you. You've seen how it can paralyze your progress and steal your dreams, keeping you stuck in a cycle of someday. But more importantly, you've gained powerful tools to fight back. You understand the science of belief and how to rewire your mind through repetition, emotionally charged affirmations, and identity-reinforcing rituals. You know that identity is not discovered, but actively decided upon and embodied through your actions and declarations. You've learned that action is the ultimate antidote to doubt, creating momentum and building evidence of your capabilities. You're equipped with the tactics to talk back to that inner critic, to interrupt its negative patterns, and replace them with empowering truths. You recognize the crucial role of your environment in either fueling or diminishing self-doubt, and the importance of consciously curating supportive influences. And finally, you understand that a powerful sense of purpose acts as an unshakable foundation, allowing your vision to eclipse the whispers of insecurity. The morals and advice we've explored today are not just abstract concepts. They are practical principles that, when consistently applied, can lead to profound and lasting transformation in your life. The power to unleash your full potential has always resided within you. It was merely obscured by the clouds of self-doubt. Today, you've begun to clear those clouds. Now, the crucial step is to take what you've learned and apply it. Choose one or two of these strategies that resonate most with you and start implementing them today. Take that small, uncomfortable action. Challenge that negative thought. Reaffirm your chosen identity. Begin to consciously cultivate the belief in yourself that you so richly deserve. The journey to overcoming self-doubt is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing practice, a commitment to nurturing your inner confidence and consistently choosing belief over fear. If this video has resonated with you, if it sparked a fire within you to finally silence that inner critic and step into your power, then take a moment right now to acknowledge that shift. Give this video a thumbs up if you're ready to choose belief over doubt and unleash the incredible potential within you. We'd also love to hear about your journey. In the comments below, share one key takeaway from this video that you're committed to implementing in your life. Make a declaration. I'm choosing belief over doubt, and I will insert your commitment here. Sharing your commitment not only solidifies it for yourself, but also inspires others in this incredible community who are on a similar path. And if you're serious about mastering your mindset, building unwavering confidence, and unlocking your elite potential, then make sure you subscribe to this channel for more powerful strategies, insightful discussions, and actionable guidance on personal growth and achieving the success you deserve. We're here to support you every step of the way on your journey to becoming the highest version of yourself. Remember, the loudest voice stopping you is often the one inside your head. But today, you've learned how to turn down that volume and amplify the voice of your own powerful potential. The old you, the one held back by doubt, doesn't get to dictate your future any longer. The power is within you. Now, go out there, take action, and unleash the incredible force you are always meant to be. We're excited to witness your transformation. See you next time.